Yes, I'm in my favourite place again, second favourite. I've got a new recipe and I'm just going to do a bit of a prepare now, so I'll just film that, and tomorrow when I do the dish I'll film the rest. A soup, a mussel soup. Now I've never made it before, but the recipe sounds delicious, and I'm into soups at the moment. And some of the main ingredients are coarse mustard, good old IKEA, a couple of onions, leeks, chicken stock, yep, Turkish shop, and beer. There we go, this is an old brown, this is like a stout. Then of course you've still got your flour to bind, and your oil to caramelize the onions and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's the main thing, the mussels and those ingredients. So I'm just going to cook the mussels because we're eating this tomorrow. So I'm going to cook the mussels. I'm going to retain the fluid because I need to use that for it in the soup, and tomorrow I'll make the rest. Right, they've been under the tap, they've been strained, drained and set in the pot they go. Right, there they are, and the only thing we need now is the beer. There you go, put the lid on, that's all there is. Nothing else, put the lid on, element on, 7, sorry. Right, well, as you can see, it's steamed up pretty high, the beer. Oh, there we go, look at that. Oh, delicious, delicious. The next job is to empty these shells, to take all the mussels out of the shell. So that bowl will be filled, and so will the colander. I want to save all the moisture, so I'm going to put the shells in here, and anything else that drips out will drip into the bowl below. So here I go. This will be for the soup. It's day 2 of the mussel soup. I'm back in the kitchen. I'm just going to put all the bits and pieces together, and then I'll show you what I have to do to complete the meal. Two onions. Righto, let's run through the ingredients again. I had 2 kilos of mussels, which I cooked in beer, in dark beer, in stout. I shelled them. I did keep a few, they're in the fridge, they're just for decoration. So, and this is the fluid from the mussels and the beer, and this is going in the soup. Then I have 600 grams of finely sliced, washed leeks, beautifully done, very nicely sliced, madam. I have 2 chopped onions, small, you don't want big chunks. 2 tablespoons of coarse mustard. Oil to cook the onion and the leeks in. Flour to thicken it, and the mustard which goes in. Here's some cooking cream, and we have the chicken stock, 500 mils. So you see we've got quite a bit of fluid. with 500 mils here, and I reckon about 700 there. So we've got a bit more than a litre, which is more than enough by the time we add all the vegetables. So I'm now going to saute the onions and the leeks. I'll add the flour and the mustard and the oil, then the fluid, and last but not least, before dinner, I will add the mussels. So I won't do that straight away. Right, well, I've lined everything up. So I'll be putting the oil in first. Right, I add the oil first. Now, I've not made this recipe before. I mean, I've eaten mussels before, but I've never made a soup from it. So I've lined up all the ingredients in the order that I am to use them. And here's hoping that it's going to be a delicious dish. Now, I'm using quite a deep pan. There's a story. There's a story to this spoon. It belonged to the lady next door. She and her partner, elderly couple, lived together for 27 years or something, never married. They both passed away, and the family lived very far away. They had no children, and so I helped the family by clearing the house. And they said, look, if there's anything that you'd like, why don't you just claim it? Because, you know, we've got a few family members, not many, and, you know, not everybody's interested in the bits and pieces here. Well, I used to have lots of talks with the old lady about her cooking years and how she regretted not being able to cook like she used to. And she used to be quite a gourmet cook by the sounds. So I've inherited a few of her things. I've got a couple more different size spoons, but this is really cool because it's really long. And I've got a breadboard as well. Ta-da! It's quite big. And it's just fabulous for cutting a pizza on, but also putting a cake on. It's just a fabulous size. And I just like it. And when I use these items, I just keep thinking about the neighbour. Oh, I keep thinking, I remember them. And it's rather lovely. Now, they weren't neighbours long, a couple of years. And when Gerald died, he was 94. And when Mika died, she was 88. And I happened to be in Wales with my friend Annette at the time. Woohoo! See all that. So I was in Wales, and I got the message. I got a WhatsApp from the niece, and she told me, and I was quite sad. I mean, I was sad in the sense that she hadn't had a long time in her new abode, closer to her nieces and nephews. After Jared died, she shifted there, and but happy for her because she'd lost all interest in life. Really, she wasn't that impressed with anything, and so for her it was a merciful release. But yeah, I sent a photo from where we were in Wales, and unbeknown to me, it was one of her favourite destinations for their holiday. And the spot where Annette and I were at the time was just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And I'd pinned a note to one of the thistles, and where I wrote a little farewell note to Mika, and I sent it to them, and they actually printed it and put it on her casket. So I was, yeah, very touched. And here I am standing above onions and leeks, and I am getting prickly eyes. Well, I'm not sure whether it's about my story or whether it's from the cooking. Right, a little more leeks. You don't add it all at once, because otherwise you don't get to caramelise it properly. So it's important that it's nice and glassy and a chance to let all the flavours out. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Okay, next bit is we add the mustard. Now this is coarse mustard. I'm sure that any variation of mustard will do. Let's stir that in. I'm going to good mix. And then, according to the recipe, I have to sieve the flour and add the mussel liquid and keep stirring. Oh yes, smell that. Oh yum. From that oniony smell. Oh yum. I know it probably looks yuck because it's gone all muddyish, but oh, delicious. Right, that's looking a wee bit better. Very goodly. Yes, you don't want it too watery a soup, do you? You know, I mean, got to have a little bit of body. Right, I'm going to add the rest of my, is fine enough to filter that out, and I really have no intention of looking good. I'll tell you what, the smell is amazing. Or should I call it a smell? Or is it the odour? Very nice. According to the next instructions, I am to add the chicken stock. There you go, chicken stock. Whoops, sorry. Added. Oh, it's a whole new dimension. Yes, I might just do that. I might leave this for later and add it when I'm ready to add the mussels, because I really don't want to split. I don't want to add the lovely creamy element too soon. So I'm going to leave this on a little low element for a wee while, and we'll check in on it again later. Right, you just sit there nicely, my sweet. I'll check on you later, okay? Right, well, while it's just settling, oh God, I've been on the bike and my hair's everywhere. While that's settling, got a tip. I try with each one of the cooking videos, I'll try and give you a tip, a hint on something to do. Now, I had to use half a litre of chicken stock, and my cube is for a whole litre. Here's half a cube in here. Now this little container, no, it's not Tupperware, but because of COVID, we've actually been ordering the odd meal out. And well, it helps the locals and it helps the restaurants. And every now and then you get sort of like a little condiment with the meal, and they put them in these little weeny containers, and they are so handy. I've got a couple of different sizes now, and I like to make my own green curry paste, and I use those too. They're a wee bit bigger that I use, and I can make 4 full ones. So when I do my curry dish, I just grab one out the freezer and bung it in. And it's so simple. So don't have to throw it away just because you need to use half a cube. So it's still COVID time, people, and if you're still having to order from your restaurants because you can't sit there, don't throw away all the containers, because they really can come in handy. So that was my tip for now. Okay? Right, time for me to do the garlic bread. Now this is another one of those wee containers, and I made some herb butter, so it's got garlic and parsley and a bit of chives in it. So I'm going to use that now for the butter, and that will be just delicious with our mustard soup. Oh, delicious. Just how I like it. Right. Now to heat up the soup. Time to reheat and add the mussels. I'm now going to add the cream. do that first because that will reduce the temperature. Right, oh, I can see the temperature rising and the steam. So here are those mussels from yesterday. And it's time to dish up. The men are hungry. So here we go. I'll just use some of those I saved in the shell. Looks quite pretty to have those on top. And there we are. Right, the proof is in the pudding, in this instance in the mustard soup. Now let's have some garlic bread. Oh, yummy, nice crunchy on the outside. And let's have a taste. Oh, I've got to have another taste. It's even better than the recipe said. Right, I'm going to finish my meal now, and I suggest that you copy down the recipe and have a go yourself. Bon appetit.